I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice.
Do your own research.
Consult a professional investment advisor before making any investment decisions.
This show is for entertainment only. Faites vos propres recherches.
Here we are
in another episode
at the Simple Success Podcast.
And
this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective.
Previously on Simple Success.
That's one impossible thing before breakfast. He thinks that needs a bit of explanation.
Not Shakespeare.
No, it's not Shakespeare. Who then? It's Lewis Carroll. Who? You mean Alice in Wonderland?
And now, just like with a previously on thing on TV, we take you directly to this week's episode.
Look, Mom, I'm a podcaster. That's what you need to say. You write a prompt, select the style, and we'll show you the way. You too can make a podcast. Come along and see.
So we're going to help people make their own podcasts? That is exactly what we're going to do. But there are millions of podcasts. New ones come out all the time.
Oh, what a wonder. No need to be a tech wizard. Just bring your passion.
That might be true, John, but that doesn't make them good ones. You mean ones worth listening to, right? That's exactly what I mean. The good ones are probably something like 1 in 1,000. Good, yeah. And by good, you mean with music and sound effects.
Yeah, just good production stuff like we've always done.
So let's get started. Yeah, I'm with you on that, but where do you start?
You too can make a podcast. Come along and see. With the help and guidance.
Once the niche pastime of tech enthusiasts,
podcasting has exploded into a cultural phenomenon.
I guess you're right, it has. Telling a story, sharing expertise, or just having a fun conversation. Podcasting offers a unique platform for expression. You've watched the medium grow, and now you are ready to add your voice to the mix. Yeah, but again, where do you start?
Will help you be amazing?
Like this.
We'll help you? Is that what you said?
Will help you be amazing?
That's what I thought you said. How will you help me be amazing? And how will this tie in to our normal finance stuff? It'll tie in as we explain how we're starting our new life in a network. And as we offer our best tools and experience. Correct, my dear great-grandson of DT's great-grandfather.
Which will make us better.
I am a musician, and I want to write songs. I really don't know what I'm doing.
Who starts the show this week?
John Brandy.
Okay, John. You heard the chorus. You're on. Indeed I am, my fabulous cavalcade of desktops. Yeah. Let me revisit something. Weren't you talking about Team a while back? Yeah, I was. And talk about them more and again, I shall do also. And lo, we Are you attempting to say the word collaborating, as in with other podcasters? Yes, I am. But do not try to do this at home, people.
Quick disclaimer here. Many sentences contained in our podcasts are of a very dangerous length and were performed...
Okay, Matthew, so we need trained vocal practitioners doing this. However, you've got to admit that collaboration with other podcasters can introduce your show to a broader audience. Collaboration? Can you provide us, pretty please, with an example of that? I can, DT. I can do that a couple different ways. For one, you could structure your show to have guest appearances, like we did with this show in 2022. Yeah, we did every other week there in our second year, and we'll do it again sometime. When it makes sense for the show. Right, and also makes sense for this network. Yeah, that's a good second thing. And third, when it also makes sense for our other podcasters. Which is really making this a win-win-win thing. Just by having guests. Well, it can be. Bottom line, don't be afraid to invite podcasters to your show or offer to be a guest on theirs. Even if the appearance isn't perfect, it's great practice. Yeah, good advice, John, because it might not always work the way you envision, but what it does, it goes a long way toward you having one of those MSIs we talk about all the time. And it will get you further down the road to that mythical 10,000 hours we also talk about a lot.
This is very real.
Yes, it is, Samantha. DT?
Yes.
I also have a few more things you might do.
More win-win things?
Por supuesto, DT. That's how we roll here.
That's good.
Right. So what's one of those things I might do then?
We might do? For others, you mean?
Por supuesto yourself, John.
Okay, then. Let's see. We could...
Resistance is futile.
Huh?
Resistance is futile.
Not now, Zarvox. Down, boy.
Once again, what is just one of those things, John?
Resistance is... oh, darn it.
Darn it indeed. One of those things, DT, is known as cross-promotion.
Which is?
Which is where two podcast hosts...
Or more than two.
Yeah, or more than two. Or some other media even, like...
Like what?
Like books.
Where they what?
Where they share each other's episodes or promo codes.
Or some other kind of special offer.
Right, which benefits both shows.
As well as our listeners. Brilliant. Any more things?
Oh, sure. There could be community events.
Or there could be websites for cents.
Collabs should be done.
Both compellingly and fun.
In the warmth of our outdoor sun.
Covering us with...
Break number 1.
Break number 1? Descanso numero uno? Who's getting who about that?
I don't know exactly.
I mean, that was the point at which we had become used to taking those, what are they called?
Descansos?
Yeah, the breaks, yeah.
In Spanish.
Yeah, so this would be...
Descanso numero uno.
Right, except now we're talking about what?
Break-like stuff.
Oh, you mean like what we used to say in break slots?
Which we designed to be easy to fit in and easy to replace.
Just like we're doing now, with stuff like this.
When you can't tell if it's a break or if the show's still continuing.
Why can't you tell?
Because there's a continuity to the whole thing.
A what?
A continuity.
Which is what?
Which is that most people...
You included sometimes.
Yeah, me included sometimes.
Can't tell that the meat of the episode has made a very smooth transition.
Thanks, Matthew. Transition into? DT?
Into what is really marketing stuff, or maybe even a real ad.
Without sounding a single bit different.
And you know, a lot of advertisers just raise the volume.
Yeah, you can even measure it on some TVs.
Not to mention some podcasts where the engineering needs help.
Like most people's podcasts.
Yeah, not counting the 20 or 30,000 or so that are on our network.
You mean the one that started in 1998?
Yeah, in Ohio, that one.
Yeah, we've been doing this way before podcasts were even a thing.
Back when podcasts were made of wood and powered by steam.
We could just tell, you feel me?
Yeah.
So other people can fill this spot.
Indeed, whether it rhymes or not.
Either way, that's enough of this rot.
Yeah, let's be on to Act 2, where lessons are taught.
And we're telling people more about this opportunity, right?
Yeah, to be part of this network where they can get stuff done.
And speaking of that, can we spend a minute talking about monetizing your podcast?
My podcast? Monetizing? What would that be, Pretel?
That's enough of the podcast jokes.
But Zarvox, that was not a joke.
Yeah, Zarvox, we don't joke about getting paid.
What do we do then?
We get down to business is what we do.
It's serious business. Speaking of which...
What? More money stuff?
That would be the important part for some of us, DT.
But not for all of us.
No, it wouldn't for all, it's true.
And to think that we're all just algorithms.
But you are all just algorithms who like to be paid, yes?
What? There is money in this?
Well, no guarantees, but there sure could be.
Oh, okay.
So what's the first step that we take for our smart voice candidates?
Oh, that one's easy. It is high audio quality.
High audio quality? Does that attract listeners?
More than just attract, my dear DT. It can retain many of them, too.
It can? How's that?
Let's follow the money, as is sometimes said.
Okay, go ahead.
Roll with me on this. There's how many podcasts out there? Millions?
Currently there are more than 5 million, according to what'sthebigdata.com.
Uh-huh. And how long would you give each of them to decide whether or not you liked them?
More than 5 million choices? 0 time seems pretty right to me. How about you?
That sounds about right. Until we toss in good marketing, that is.
Yeah, good marketing. Where people hear about us lots of ways. not just when they're looking for another podcast.
Right, because our creative types might use a few different ways to keep their peeps.
Which is one of the reasons we also use different ways to bring value.
Like
affiliate links, Olivia, where we might send some of our peeps who can put the thing to use right away instead of many years later, like they would with the 10,000 hour rule thingy.
Or we could give them premium content like a lot of people do.
Or separate channels, or maybe on the same channel.
Where we give the people exclusive stuff.
Yeah, or discounts to other services on the network.
that's good.
Even merchandise can sometimes be the right thing to do.
Especially when we put it together with giveaways.
Wait. You mean we should give away some of the merch?
Either that or head off to church.
That rhymed, he thought to himself.
And yet we must get this network off the shelf.
In a cozy studio where stories unwind.
We craft our podcast with laughter defined.
But what is a show without a little cheer?
True, let's spread some joy. Let's make it clear. With t-shirts and things, stickers galore.
We've gathered some goodies. No, there's more.
Each item a token, a piece of our heart.
To thank our listeners who've played a big part.
So gather round, friends. It's time for a treat.
No need for a ticket. Just bring your own fleet.
Huh?
Oh, that's a reference to our cybercab business there.
Okay, yeah. We'll spin a sweet wheel, and with a grand cheer,
a lucky winner will get the best gear.
Imagine a mug with our logo so bright.
Or a t-shirt that glows in the soft moonlight.
Each piece of merch holds a story and a laugh.
An emblem of the moments we've shared on our path.
We'll share on our channels, let everyone know.
Right after this break, or
Numero dos.
We know a lot about you already, because we know ourselves. For example, we know that you know how to listen to our podcast. We also know that you probably know how to subscribe. So as soon as you're done with that, tell us your story. We have ways you can contact us. It involves a special link where you can leave us a message. We may have an email address for you as well in the future, and we'll let you know if that happens. The reason for subscribing? I thought you'd never ask. When you subscribe, you automatically download all future episodes of that podcast. It just happens in your player without you having to go search again. How cool is that? This means better rankings for the podcast, more attention from advertisers, and more money. And this means more and better stuff for you. So your motivation is simple and easy. Subscribe today, whatever app and from whatever place you like. And don't just try to subscribe. There is no try. There is only do. We're changing the way we look at things, and remember, that's good. Eso es buenísimo. Also remember, this is financial life coaching from a happiness perspective. Coaching happiness. Our call to action is right in the show notes. Find it, and you win too. Can I simple that? Por supuesto. Of course. Just simple it.
Please make sure your seat belts are fastened and your tray tables are in their upright position.
And make sure simple is a verb like Google is a verb.
我们回来了. That's we are back.
And it is a most fabulous thing that again back we are.
Let me just adjust a few things as we wrap up today's adventure in, what is this again, Daniel?
Act 3.
Right.
So, DT, as you know, we've been thinking a lot about helping people start their podcast.
Yeah?
Imagine the discussions we could all have and the audience we could all reach.
I don't know, John. Podcasts are everywhere these days. How many millions did you talk about before? How would we even make our friends stand out?
True that, DT. It would be a challenge, but have we both brand and expertise?
Fuss and bother then. Hey, what if people don't resonate with us?
Methinks you worry a bit much, DT. As we all focus on what we are passionate about, perhaps stories from our own careers, or even discussions on current trends, we'll find plenty of engagement.
Sounds reasonable. But what happens afterward? How do we actually monetize this? Remember that monetization part?
He asked sincerely.
I do, and great question. Once we build a solid audience, we can explore options like sponsorships, merchandise, or even Patreon for exclusive content.
And don't forget social media.
Okay, but it sounds like another daunting task. Managing a bunch of social campaigns.
It is, but that's where our team and our creativity come into play. We can engage people through polls, quizzes, behind-the-scenes content. It's about building a community, not just a following.
Which is partly what having a network is all about. So where does our famous patience factor in here?
Our patience factors in because it's a marathon, not a sprint. Success doesn't necessarily mean immediate returns. By being consistently high quality and available, we create something sustainable over time.
Okay, I'm in. Just like our friends are in, but we need a clear plan. One we all agree on.
Absolutely. And we map out everything from your music to your launch dates.
To long-term strategies for success.
And all our people need to do is be the team they want to see in the world. It's all about teamwork, after all.
Yeah, that's a good application of the Gandhi phrase. All right, let's create a sonic boom and do it. If we can build a solid foundation, then I'm willing to give it a shot.
That's the spirit. Together, we can create something amazing. Here's to our team.
And instead of just talking about it, here's to doing it.
Which is how you've all gotten good.
Gracias por escuchar.
Salut. À la prochaine.
No robots were harmed in the making of this podcast.
This podcast and our other podcast are productions of Little Red Hen Industries.
Part of the Sonic Boom Network, where we do the hard work for you.
And Rishi helps our hen bake the bread by giving credit to these great people.
Techno King, John Brandy.
That's me.
Alter Ego, Doubting Thomas.
And that's me.
Fact Checker, Napoleon Bonaparte. Social Manager, Abraham Lincoln. Always on the internet's inner tubes whatever. Media Expert, Augustus Caesar. Psychologist, William James.
Human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind.
Sound Designer, Les Paul.
Thank you for inventing multitrack.
Language Consultant, Leah, the French do-your-own research lady.
Cough, cough, cough.
Videographer, Etomon Koshki.
Lights, camera, action.
Inspiration, many podcasts and other sources, and of course Napoleon Hill. Additional inspiration and thanks go to Steve Jobs, Joseph Allen, Charles Darwin, Leonardo da Vinci, Henry David Thoreau, Abigail Adams, Jonathan Livingstone Seagull, and the Stick Figure.
Quick disclaimer here. Many sentences contained in our podcasts are of a very dangerous length and were performed by highly trained vocal practitioners. On no account should inexperienced life forms attempt to imitate them without proper medical, jaw, and lung supervision.
And before we forget, you can also subscribe to both podcasts, join the community, and benefit from many of our techniques, including financial advice, patience, practice, and even podcast production for your ideas. Of course, you'll have to head to the show notes, either on your phone or on the web, to get the links and stuff, and all those clickable links are in the show notes. Hey, Emma, do you, Samantha, and Daniel want to tell us a bit more about this stuff?
Sure. The artificial intelligence or AI voices that you hear in our work are offered up by Google, Amazon Polly, and OpenAI. They don't sponsor us yet, but we love what they do, and we just love what AI can do when lovingly crafted.
Finally, you can find us through our network. We happily consider guests and consider guesting on other people's shows.
That sounds like a really old school computer voice. I'll call it Zarvox. It's definitely not Samantha or any other modern AI.
Yeah, I'm not feeling well today.
That's too bad, Samantha. Our music comes from Cute by Ben Sound and from Piano Background by Nick Simonados. Thanks also to AI MuseNet, Suno.ai, Udio.com, Phrase.io, 11 Labs, and Ace Studios. The sound effect credits go to Jackson Academy Ashmore, Canoe CG, Dr. Jekyll, Joe Payne, Everything South, MK Play More Stories, ERH, Sandemocious, Big Pickle 51, and Just Kidding. Yes, that's his or her name. All on freesound.org. Also, languages are the bomb.
Paul.